game.
Already
and
starting the
pausing,
next
so,
one. Okay,
yeah.
so fair enough. Let's take a look at the maps this time. Still on the point of view of Lojza right here playing with the blue color. The gold still not too good, but a little bit better. It's not really touching the walls like before. The BacT was the one calling the restart, so maybe let's try to understand if he's got actually a nice map. Talk to us about this map, Nilford.
Yeah, obviously the deer is quite important because sometimes you have the deer outside, and if you have the deer inside, it's basically free food because you don't need to scout too early because you can't see what your enemy is doing in the first stages because they are protected by walls. So getting deer inside your base is basically free food.
Okay, and the rest of the map, I guess it's okay as well. This wood is quite nice, close to the TC. The gold, not ideal, but even further away from the walls comparing to Lojza, so I guess you won't be too bothered about this map. Once more, let's take a look at the relic distribution. You can see a couple of relics right here in the middle, two very close to each other, a third one right here as well. There's a fourth one right here. Looks like this is the fifth one. So what do you think about the relic distribution? Seems to me like all of them are sort of in the middle. So
yeah, but I think the exact distribution isn't too important because either BacT is going for an offense and Lojza has to defend, and then the monks will easily pick up the relics anyways, no matter where they're positioned. Or we will see BacT booming and playing defense against some longbows of Lojza, and then he will never get the relics either.
So you're mentioning many times the longbows right here, so you are expecting Lojza to drop a castle here?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see if that is what is going to happen. Nice job here by Lojza, to be honest, really doing this nicely with the villager, making sure the board is going to follow him there, and he did that really on a timely manner because BacT was getting dangerously close with that Eagle Warrior, and do keep in mind, Lojza does not have blue.
Yeah, and some intel would be great as well, because if he wants to get into the base of Lojza, he can easily palisade wall around the gold and stone and can see the strategy of Lojza, which would be great intel for BacT, because I think he will have not as many information as Lojza in this.
Yeah, and when we see Aztecs playing, most of the times they go for some sort of push in Castle Age, yeah, with monks, with siege sometimes. It sort of depends how much you want to commit to it, but considering you are expecting Lojza to go for longbows, you think going monks and mangonels is still a good option?
Well, that's something BacT has to figure out, to be honest.
Okay, let's see if he will do that or not.
It's kind of tough because it depends on the map of Lojza. If he's able to defend at a quite small space and can defend with a castle and snipe with some longbows, it's very good for him. If BacT can attack on a wide area, I think, yeah, Lojza might be in some trouble.
He'll try to scout a little bit of a space. Let's go into his point of view.
He only got 4
a couple of sheep right here. Yeah, he will be able to fan the missing ones right here. 2 of them are here. The other one are right here, a little bit further back. I do like for him very much this gold right here. It's a nice gold right there, as protected as it gets. He did not scout it at this point, but he will eventually at some point. Bringing in his second board so far. Nice start by BacT, getting the board the perfect position as well. I guess we will try to take a look at what is Lojza doing with his economy. He's got 4 villagers on wood, quite standard as well. If he is going for a castle drop nearly, when are we expecting to see him sending a couple of villagers to stone?
There are different approaches. If you want to go very fast castle and then go on stone, but then your eco is very weak, or you add like 3 villagers before you actually click feudal, or maybe even 4 if you want to add extra TCs afterwards if you don't want to push. So I think we will see at the end of Dark Age, we will see how many like villagers he will send on stone and what timing he wants to go with his castle.
Something I just mentioned before, deer are very important on Arena, and it looks to me like Lojza is missing them. Looks like he does not have any deer so far. He does have here an extra berry that he can make use of, but no extra deer, no deer at all, to be fair. Let's take a look at BacT. The BacT does have a couple of them right here, just as we said at the beginning. He's deleting the walls to make sure that the luring can take place with no obstacles, nothing to stop him from doing that in a nice and smooth manner. And I think I will want to go into his point of view to see how far away is he from clicking up. I guess with Castle, with Aztecs, he could actually make quite a fast castle age time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. BacT is just getting his left 2 sheep, I think. Oh no, he isn't. He even isn't. That's unfortunate for him. He most likely will think that Lojza did steal them, but that's unlikely if he's Brits against that
He's
stack.
probably missing just a couple of tiles, and indeed this is just so unlucky. As unlucky as it gets. It's really only 1 or 2 tiles are preventing him to actually find those 2 sheep. A little bit of a unsuccessful lure right here from that deer. I was expecting him to actually shoot that deer with one of the villagers to make sure it does not run all the way back. He was not able to do that on time. So he will still need to wait a little bit more in order to have that deer.
Yeah, and he's trying to get the deer into his TC, not onto the berries, because the villagers will get idle pretty soon after the sheep finish.
Yeah, indeed. I do wonder he could just be trying to get that deer under the mill. Not doing so. He is the first one to click up to feudal age. With 25 population, that means 24 villagers. Taking a look at what is Lojza doing. Lojza sending villagers to the stone. So once more, 2k5 predictions right here by Nilford next to me. It's going to be a castle drop here by Lojza. And what do you think? Will he have the courage? Will he have the ambition to actually go forward with his villagers and drop a castle somewhere around here?
That would be absolute suicide.
Suicide, alright.
He's way slower than an Aztec, and if an Aztec does anything of offensive, he's basically GG.
But come on, how good would be a castle right here? Take
Yeah,
control of 3 golds.
3
golds.
But
how good would that be?
BacT either has like 2 or 3 eagles out, or a single monk would totally destroy
everything. Indeed, it would be very, very risky. But Lojza is not known to be the orthodox player. He's known to be a very unorthodox player. I do wonder, what is he getting this deer from? Is he getting it from all the way down here? So nice job by Lojza. Somehow managed to get one of those deer completely outside of his walls. Nice micro. Nicely done here by Lojza. We're jumping a little bit once more. Let me go back with the speed, making sure the stream goes smooth. Lojza going quite late to feudal age in comparison to BacT, but I guess that's expected because he's going to go for that castle drop.
Yeah, absolutely. Having to send some villagers on stone, obviously they're not going on to food or gold or anything else to get you into this fast castle age, so he has to go with a higher population.
Yeah, BacT dropping a blacksmith, dropping a market, and no big surprise. Looks, oh, for what about, okay, I was afraid this was going to be lumber camp, but I was wondering what is this lumber camp doing right here next to 2 trees, but it was only a house, everything good for him.
Yeah, but he was housed for quite some time, to be honest.
Ah, okay, so that was the case. Okay, that was the case. Maybe he should be actually doing 1 villager instead of 2 then, because he will be actually able to go to...
Now the market finishes, and he's still producing a full
villager
now.
He just made it. Yeah, he was not able to cancel it on time, I feel like. So he's waiting for a little bit more of food, and we are a little bit weird right here. He could be already going up at this time. We'll wait for the next villager to be finished, and then click up to castle age. We'll still be quite ahead of Lojza. Lojza's still on the way to feudal age. Once he gets to feudal age, we are expecting to see a blacksmith and a market as well.
Yeah, instantly, and I think he will just build 2 villagers and will go up as soon as possible as well. So I think he will be behind like close to 1 minute or 1 minute 10, which is quite reasonable.
Okay, 2 villagers on that market, 1 villager on the blacksmith. No huge surprise. I want to take a look at how is BacT making this. Yeah, a whole lot of villagers on gold. This sort of indicates us that he will go for monks.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he didn't, either he thinks, okay, those monks are doing fine, or he didn't put too much thought into it.
He's just playing the standard Aztec build order, right? Doing a barracks to make sure he gets 1 or 2 or 3 Eagle Warriors, whatever it takes to get control of the relics.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe he's even doing some pikemen because he's fearing Lojza to build some scouts. But I think, oh, this scout is low anyway, so he should just send his eagle, kill the scout, and then he will have a lot of intel.
Okay, looks like indeed he's a scout on very low HP right here. Let's try to understand how will BacT fight with this. He's almost on the way to finishing that Castle Age upgrade on 70% at this point. Let's take a look at what Lojza is doing. Lojza has only got 2 villagers on gold. Getting a 3rd one, I guess he does need a little bit of gold income in order to get those longbows out as well.
And BacT has still a lot of villagers on wood. We look at BacT's view, so it won't be like a full-out monk push because you only have like 8 on wood, and he has like 10, I think. So we won't see like 3 monasteries and get it into his face. It will be, yeah, something like a boom monk, and I don't see fort villagers either.
Just now getting into Castle Age. What will be his build order? Monastery, no huge surprise right here. Let's take a look, if you will, actually do the bow saw upgrade. Indeed, he's doing it. So that sort of indicates he wants to drop a TC as soon as possible as well. He needs to have a good economy if he wants to go for a couple of monks.
But he's going for defensive monks.
I will try to take a look at this Fog of War. Indeed, he did spot a couple of those relics. I would be surprised not to see him going there and trying to get them as soon as possible. Looks like Lojza not too far away from Castle H either. He is there now, 100%, trying to take a look at, well, yeah, not ideal right here from Lojza, getting house straight away. He forgot to make a house on the way to Castle H, getting 3 villagers idle. Actually, 4 villagers idle right there. Not ideal, but I guess the castle is in a good spot. I would have wished for him to go a little bit more forward with it, maybe somewhere around here, but maybe he wants to hide it from BacT.
Well, I think BacT should expect longbows, because I think he won't think, okay, we will get in a very, very long game and Lojza will just boom. And hiding it will not give you too much like hiding time anyways. So I think that's basically the spot he wanted to go for a good defense. Because you don't want to walk too much and still want this protection.
A couple of Eagle Warriors coming out here from BacT. BacT is not going to fear those scouts anymore. He does have the 4+3 attack once he gets to Castle H. We're a little bit slower. Let's try this on. He's got a Scorpion as well. So this sort of indicates that he is expecting a couple of ranged units from Lojza.
Wow, a Scorpion. How many games are we seeing Scorpions in Castle Age? Like basically never. And Lojza did fletching, so he will go for longbows. But longbows have like range 8ish and Scorpions only 7. And if they split, I think Scorpions don't counter longbows.
Let's try to see what will Lojza trying to go here. We can see a couple of units are hiding inside the castle already. Longbows are indeed the option here for Lojza. Take a look if you will actually be able to spot one of the monks from BacT. BacT still being very careful, and then one of the relics is going to be collected already. Looks like Lojza does not want to do that just yet. At least now BacT will be able to see where that castle from Lojza is. Lojza still trying to get a hit on that elite Eagle Warrior, and not elite, of course, on that Eagle Warrior, was not quite able to do so. This could actually be dangerous here for Lojza. He's not taking a look at this. He could lose a villager to a wolf. Will be quite unlucky for him. Saves it at the very last second. He does not have Loom, of course, expected on an arena game, but he was really playing with fire right there. Just lost his count as well in the meanwhile, so let's take a look if he will actually be able to do something funny with those crossbows. But what exactly are these walls? Is he really expecting such a huge push from BacT?
Yeah, he's still expecting a push, and I would as well, because BacT is now going into the late game against a guy who seems to be very well prepared. Seems like BacT thinks, okay, Aztecs are very strong in Imperial, and if I just do like huge Eagle Warriors, maybe some Arbalets and Ram attack, Brit can't defend. Actually, Brits are pretty vulnerable against the heavy siege of the Aztecs in Imperial Age.
Indeed, and actually, if he can think so much in advance, that would be actually so good for him. Indeed, that would be a very nice, timely strategy. And he's just lost a couple of longbows right there to the Scorpion. Not ideal. He does not want to lose any units without actually taking any hits.
Oh, thank you, you wonderful man.
We just heard we got either a subscription or a donation. Thank you so much, guys, for that. We always appreciate the support. And let's take a look at if BacT is actually going to go very aggressive on this. I don't see a mangonel as of yet, so I don't expect BacT to actually go really aggressive if he does not have a mangonel or a ram here.
Yeah, but those Scorpions are only taking 1 damage. They have 6 defense against the longbows. So I think he could do something if they like a pearl, like this form. They can't really shoot and will get a lot of damage by the splash damage of the Scorpion.
Yeah, Lojza definitely does not want to be fighting those Scorpions. He will try to get the hits on the Eagle Warriors as far as he can, but he does want to avoid those scorpions for as long as possible. BacT looks like he will try to attack here the left side of Lojza's base. I do wonder, yeah, no, he's going back a little bit. He knows that left side won't be really a nice spot for him to hit. He needs to try to concentrate on the right side in order to do anything interesting. But let's take a look at what's happening right here on the right side of my map. I can see the redemption research being upgraded by BacT. What does that tell us?
Yeah, actually that tells us he can now convert a lot of buildings and like siege units of Lojza.
But is he expecting siege units from Lojza?
It seems so. I wouldn't be in BacT's shoes, but yeah, it seems like or maybe he wants to start an aggression soon, or he just had way too much gold and wanted to spend it somehow.
Get rid of it. That could be a nice option. Let's see. This is going to be such a nice fight here for Lojza. The Scorpions are very far away. He's going to micro this the best way he can. He got 2 Eagle Warriors. Looks like he will try to go away and run away from those monks. Those monks have got quite a sick range, 9 range against only 7 from those longbowmen. So he does want to go back with those. Does not want to lose any one of them to those monks. So nice micro for Lojza at this point. Let's take a look at the villager account. And quite impressive, in my opinion, for someone that actually went for the castle drop. He's so much ahead on the villager count here, Nilford.
Yeah, obviously BacT's eco was slowed down quite heavily. He has a lot of eco upgrades and he has a lot of relics, but getting those relics really slowed him down.
3 TCs so far. Looks like he's not aiming to go for another one. He's got 4 relics already, only a 5th one missing.
And the monk has a 5th one.
And the monk has got it, so he just
relics.
only needs to gather it. So actually really good for BacT, thinking once more in the late game and not thinking too much short term here.
Yeah, absolutely. And this golden comes unbelievable.
Really fast indeed. Let's see if Lojza will actually try to engage this 3 scorpions. If the micro is on point, he could be alright, but I'm not sure. No, he does not want to engage this. He's going to go back. So this is where actually these walls are starting to look really good for Lojza. If BacT actually starts to push heavy from this side, these walls were gained Lojza so much time.
Yeah, absolutely. And he should even consider getting into fortified walls, and he's getting a siege workshop for defense now, which won't help too much against the monks, obviously. I wonder, should Lojza even consider like changing the formation of his longbows, because he's getting splash damage so much, and I think he should spread out more.
Okay, and here is where the line of sight of the monks is just so useful. BacT can now see that Lojza was actually able to wall behind as well. So he might be tempted into reconsidering this push right here. Not doing so at the moment. Needs to concentrate a little bit more right there. We'll take a look at Lojza economy. He's got 4 TCs, if I'm not mistaken. 4 TCs. So the villager count is just going to start increasing more and more. That's 20 by this point. Looks like Lojza is doing really good so far here.
Absolutely. Look at the amount of farms. He has like 30 farmers or something. So we will see him get Imperial age pretty fast and probably going for champs afterwards.
Let's see if he actually wants to engage this mangonel indeed. And this is what I really wonder. Why did BacT go for that redemption? Only 1 mangonel coming out now. I guess if he gets a nice hit with that mangonel on the longbows, that could be a nice option. Lojza will try to surround the army from BacT. He's gonna get a mangonel. Nice job right here. The mangonel is out.
One more scorpion
scorpion goes out as well, so nice micro once more. Lojza does not know that those monks have got redemption, so yeah, he might be losing here. The mangonel, he needs to go back with it. Maybe, yeah, he just deleted it if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
or that he just deleted, so really nicely done by him. He will try to micro out the scorpions, doing an amazing job. It's doing that really nicely done here from Lojza. Lost basically nothing. I can only see 1 dead longbow and pretty much cleared everything that BacT had right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And he knew that BacT had redemption because the monks have 35 HP. And
so
that's
smart.
the only upgrade you basically
So smart.
get. So he took the risk, because you send the mangonel in, snipe 1 mangonel, killed a scorpion, damaged another scorpion, and that was a very ballsy move, and just deleted in the last second, and I like this move a lot.
Very, very smart indeed, and he will be looking into getting those final kills on those monks. Looks like nothing is going to be stopping him from doing so. BacT try to run as fast as he can, but do keep in mind, longbows are faster than those monks, still not being quite able to get a hit, still missing a couple of shots. This one is going to do the job, only 1 missing, but he does need to be looking at this. There's a mangonel on the way. Nothing stopping Lojza from doing that. He will even try to engage the mangonel. Perfect split right there, and the slow motion of our replay makes it look even more nice. Look at that. Maybe he will get a hit here. Big sister. Yeah, okay. He lost 2. Not too bad. He's gonna get the last monk right there. This is gonna do it, in my opinion. There he goes. Needs to micro a little bit more against this mangonel if he does want to. He needs to be on point once more. Yeah, just keeps running. And this mangonel will be an easy prey for Lojza at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Now he's under the minimum range mangonel has to shoot in. And even a small mistake by BacT. Nothing he can do there against this amount after he saw the longbows coming so late.
Let's take a look at what is BacT going to do against this. He's on his way to Imperial Age. Barracks are being dropped, so it's going to be Elite Eagle Warriors, and not a huge surprise right here. And maybe this is the moment where Lojza actually wants to hide his army a little bit, because there's not really very much that the longbows can do against those incredibly strong Eagle Warriors with that 4+4 pierce armor.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're obviously killing those longbows, but Lojza is expecting it. He's already switching into champions, as you can see, having some Rex, getting man-at-arm upgrade, getting the defense upgrade, walling the map more, you know, to protect yourself against
so nicely
ratings.
done, so nicely done. At the same time, raiding some more right here on BacT's wood line. He's gonna lose so many villagers. 3 are down by now, a 4th one on the way. So really, such perfect play with Britons against Aztecs so far by Lojza.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see that he knows how this matchup works.
This guy knows how to play arena, right?
Yeah,
he knows
absolutely.
that by heart. Amazing play so far. Going for the champion line, just as Nilfer predicted right here. 4 barracks, 5 barracks on the way. To be fair, he will be doing champions for those ones, and that's where the Eagle Warriors from BacT will be sort of helpless.
Ooh, and great timing now. He knows eagles are coming out soon.
So goes back with those longbows. Make sure you can keep them alive for as long as possible. BacT could actually even be trying to catch them off guard. He's not going to do that. Castle right there could sort of indicate maybe he will try to switch into Jaguar Warriors at some point. Not doing that just yet, doing a trebuchet for now, but he probably does not know that Lojza is doing a couple of barracks right here, and indeed he does not know that.
Yeah, no intel for now, and he's even pressuring with his 2nd castle, and I think that's a bad one because he will obviously get out sniped there.
Yeah,
maybe
hard to see how could that not happen. Lojza on the way to 2-handed swordsman. He can see that castle, he can see it being built, so maybe now he wants to actually send out all of those infantry units to make sure he can actually stop those villagers from building that castle. Not doing so looks like he wants to be a little bit careful here. But to be fair, this castle is not doing very much.
No, absolutely not. He doesn't need to take a fight now. He will have the way better army compositioning. Just build 2 traps, snipe this castle, fight with champion against Eagle Warriors, and then you're on a huge advantage. And actually, I think BacT has to switch his unit composition now.
Yeah, indeed. At some point, he will have to go for Elite Jaguar Warriors. For now, he wants to concentrate on trebuchets and Elite Eagle Warriors. He will be looking into getting down one of those barracks, maybe even that castle. And at this point, that castle is actually quite nice for Lojza, but Lojza is going to be trebbing it down. He's going to be a treb war at this point, Nilfer.
Yeah, I think BacT would wish it could go into a trap war, but I don't see him getting out enough traps.
Yeah, it's
actually
only 1 castle against 2 castles, right? So these 2 castles are going to be able to do a much faster job than BacT's only 1 castle. He does have a 2nd one on the back, but that is going to be a little bit delayed, and that castle might just, well, fall here by BacT.
He's even repairing it, and I think that's a total waste of stone, because BacT isn't actually buying time. Lojza wants to camp anyways.
Yep, Lojza needs the time to get a champion upgrade, so all the time that BacT can give him is a very welcome time for Lojza at this point. So he is not worried about this fight at this point. He's very happy into keeping and engaging in this trebuchet war, because even if he loses his castles, what about it? He does not want to do any units for those castles.
Yeah, well, he still needs a champion longbow composition. So actually Lojza needs to have those castles, but BacT only needs to have conscription and maybe some traps. And he did conscription, those traps are still out, he should pack them, go back home and get a huge Imperial army. He needs to go for champs himself, onagers, rams. We need those strong Aztec Imperial composition against Lojza, but look at the points, look at the villagers. it's looking so good for Lojza.
Such a huge advantage, such a huge advantage. It looks like he will go forward with those champions, soon-to-be champions. He will just clear those trebuchets with no problem whatsoever. He wants to do that before he actually loses his castle. What just happened there? Did BacT just delete one of his trebuchets? I think he just deleted one of his trebuchets, and once more the game finishes a little bit too soon for us, a little bit unfortunate. We cannot see the GG call, or maybe they just called it between each other. That would be what happened. But GG, nice game here by Lojza, playing a perfect Brits on an arena map against Aztecs. Very impressive indeed.
Yeah, he absolutely knew what to do at what point. He knew, okay, I'm going to play against Aztecs. They really don't know how to play against longbows. Then he switches into champs and out-counters those eagles. And I don't like the fighting of BacT. Trying to get in aggressive when you have the better late Imperial army. I think he should have dragged the game more into having onagers and those rams and having champions and arbalests. And then he can take good fights against those like very vulnerable, also strong Brit units.
Yeah, it did feel to me like he did commit too much to that sort of push, right? With the mangonels and the monks. It was a little bit too much commitment, don't you think? He did redemption. Was redemption really necessary?
Yeah, not at all. He had way too much gold. That's what I was thinking. He had like 10 villagers on gold and didn't go aggressive. That's like you're only picking up relics and still too far behind concerning food eco and eco at all.
Yeah, indeed, a little bit too much of a commitment right there, in my opinion. Could have been something else. I guess he could have tried to push a little bit earlier, and if he's going to commit so much and really commit and not sort of give up at some point in game, a little bit of a wrong strategy by BacT right there, in my opinion. You need to give the host back to the players. But indeed, once more, 4th game so far, 4th series that is going to go to the 3rd game. Once more, this only speaks for the quality of the tournament so far, and for those of you guys complaining about the random draw and the random seeding, look at that. No problem with that. All the matches as close as it gets so far.
Yeah, absolutely. We have seen so close games, and actually even Tav said, okay, this bracket will go fast. Like, he will swipe him.
Yeah,
he will swipe
look at
him,
this going fast. Look at this going fast.
It is.
Not at all.
Absolutely isn't.
Not at all, indeed. And we're going to go into game 3 anytime soon.